guys, this is Greg Siegel from Codeable, and today I'm going to be showing you how to add a web view to your Xcode project. So the first thing you want to do is go over to Xcode, go over to create a new project. I'm going to go to a single view application, and we're going to call it Webview. I'm going to save it on my desktop. Okay, so I'm going to start off by creating some brackets, and we're going to create an IB outlet. So IB outlet UI web view space, I'm going to do a star web view and then semicolon. So once that's done, I'm going to go over to our view did load, and we're going to add a bracket. I'm going to call it web view. Once we've done that, I'm going to create a space and go load request with a capital R colon bracket open NSURL request with a capital R space request with URL and colon. Once we've done that, I'm going to create a bracket. I'm going to zoom in for you guys so you can see a little bit better before we do that. There we go. Okay, so once we've created this bracket, we're going to type in NSURL, and we're going to do a space, URL with string, colon, at speech marks. And once we've done that, we're going to type in HTTP, 2 forward slashes, and then www.google.co.uk. Okay, so once we've done that, going to close the speech marks. I'm just going to change this to a non-capital. Okay, once this is done, then all we need to do is create 3 brackets. So 1, 2, 3, and you'll see them close up. And once this has been performed, we just need to do a semicolon, and we're done. So I'm just going to leave that there for a minute, so you can have a look at it and maybe zoom in a little bit more. There you go. So that's web view, load request, NSURL request, request with URL, and then NSURL with a space, URL with string, and then we're going to do it to whatever website you want. But for this specific tutorial, I'm going to do it to Google. So once that's done, I'm going to zoom out, and we're going to go to View Controller, iPhone, XIB. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I'm going to drag this up, and I'm just going to click on that. I'm going to change this to white. Okay, so once that's done, I'm going to add a toolbar to the bottom of the screen. Okay, and I'm going to copy and paste these four buttons. I'll show you why in a minute. I'm going to click off of that, and I'm going to add our web view. This little icon here. I'm just going to drag it, and it'll do that. It'll arrange itself. Okay, so once that's done, I'm just going to go to Files Owner. I'm going to drag this web view to the web view, and that will link itself. That's our action. That's our outlet. Sorry. And we're attaching the outlet to the UI web view. Okay, so what am I going to do with these buttons? Well, the first one, delete and type in back, like that. For the next one, I'm going to type in forward. Okay, for this one, I'm going to click and go here, and instead of custom, I'm going to change it to refresh. And for this one, I'm going to do exactly the same thing, but instead of refresh, it's going to be stop. Okay, so once that's done, I'm going to drag this up a little bit so you can see it better. And I'm going to add these in the middle, and these are called a flexible spacebar button item. And these will space our button items out, and it'll make it a lot more professional. What I might, yeah, we'll leave that one. and delete that one. We'll keep them in 2 spaces like that. Okay, so that's all done. We've got no issues at the moment. Okay guys, so once we've created our buttons, we just need to do the received actions. So if you click on your UI Webview, you'll see that there are, click that, you'll see that there are received actions. So what we need to do is, for the go back button, we need to just connect to the back. For the go forward, we need to connect to the forward. For the reload, to the reload button, and the stop loading, to the stop loading button. Okay, so once that's all done, we press run. Hopefully everything should work. Okay, so if I click on frogs, it'll take us to a page on Google about frogs. We can go backwards, we can then go forwards, we can then reload, and if I'm going to go forward, I can go backwards and I can cancel. The cancel button's for when you're loading something, so if I click on hello, I can then it works sometimes, depending if you're loading a really long page and it's just not loading, you can then press the cancel button and it will stop loading the page. But that's not necessary for this instance. Okay, so this is really useful. You can use it in some apps, because the idea of having this is, yes, you have got a web service on your iPhone or iPod Touch. However, if you've got an application, you don't necessarily want them to go out of it. You want them to keep them on the application. So if you've got a search feature or a web feature, you can then, instead of them going out of the application, they can stay inside of it. This is really useful, as it keeps people on your application for a long period of time, which is what you want to do. So it's really useful. You can not just use Google, you can use Twitter, Facebook, whatever website you want, your website that you're advertising. It's a direct link, it's easier. They don't have to go and punch in your web address for your website. They can just automatically click on a button and there you go, your actual your website. So really useful. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks for listening.